opportunities of cooperation between the world of education and work. Again, the importance of an inclusive approach of education, inclusiveness in terms of different kind of worlds together, the world of education not as an isolated identity, but being part of the society in general, inviting the business world also, inviting civic society organization also to cooperate together in education, education in the world. I think this is what your call is. Another thing about inclusive approach is not by marginalizing newcomers that you can prepare them for a better functioning in the community and on the labor market. It is an inclusive approach, and for many years I have been diversity manager, and I used to say, try to develop a policy as inclusive as possible, but as specific as needed. We have to find the right balance in these management methods. Be careful of marginalization, but also be careful of minorization, I will say, and you have said it in other words. Marginalization is discriminative, but minorization is something about your identity, and it is even worse to believe that you are less than the rest, I will say. And now I would like to start the discussion. We will have exactly, unfortunately, 20 minutes. There is always one big boss, and in this case it is Mevlüt, and I have the agenda here. Just to put the framework, I understood today and yesterday that for diversity you need intellectual skills, communication skills, today linguistic skills, cultural skills, know about the culture, understand first to be understood, understand the system, the education system, but also the economic system, emotional skills, fight against fear, be aware of who you are, self-confidence and not under of overconfidence, it's important. Learn to respect others. These are my conclusions of this session. Now the questions or remarks, please. There, at the end. We can't hear. Technically we are perfect today, but it's not a problem. We'll solve it.
Okay, I do shout. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to hear different perspectives, different reflections. That is what I focus on, particularly Mr. Adem Kumcu. You just summarized very well. For social inclusion and active citizenship and participation, what lacks in most European countries is in Belgium and Holland, in Burgering Centrum or in Burgering Programma, so-called integration program. In the perspective of language, it works very well, and it's similar all over Europe because I've been working on the same thing. But what lacks is the second dimension. Even I don't know French, but since I have read his work, I know what he means, and I certainly agree. In most integration programs, so-called integration programs, social inclusion part lacks, and the more it lacks, the more immigrants feel perceived discrimination. And when they have perceived discrimination, they feel kind of segregated. That's only a remark. So I'm really happy the dimension or the line of the speakers going, giving a message to focusing on social inclusion so that immigrants, they are not immigrants in the fourth and third generation, they are going to have multicultural competence development through social inclusion. I just wanted to thank, it's not a question, So happy to hear. I just want to feel that authorities, policymakers are hearing our voice, us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions, please. Let's start here, and then we'll continue. Here, please. It's difficult to show it, but you can, there, please. Go ahead. I will collect different questions here. Are there more microphones? Yes, coming. Just a minute. Gender equality is important. I will do a positive discrimination here. Ladies first. Go on, please.
Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you very much. I've had such a marvellous feast of ideas and stimulation. I am, however, concerned, as I said yesterday, about the fundamental premises upon which we are all working and building and thinking. As a philosopher, I would say to you that the problem goes back to Plato. So, you know, we've had 2,000 years to get it right, and we still haven't resolved the issue of the other. Plato argued that the other person is the unknown, the darkness, the negative, because that person is somebody we don't really understand. So my problem as a practitioner, and I've been a researcher in this field for 30 years, as well as a philosopher, is this really huge issue of sameness and difference. The fact that if I think that you are different from me, there is also an enormous risk that I may conclude that you are inferior to me because you are different. Now, this is nothing new that I'm saying, but I'm concerned in a way that we are still falling into the same trap, which is that there must be some way in which this room full of brilliant people can work more explicitly towards a bigger idea of sameness and difference, so that paradoxically, but I can play this game because I'm a philosopher, paradoxically, the same and the different must be understood as coming within the same category. Now, we all think this way, which is why we're here. I'm sure that I'm among friends. Everybody in this room, I hope, thinks the same way as this, but I wonder whether we need a more assertive rhetoric, which I've seen a little bit of from all your papers, but perhaps a more assertive rhetoric. And Dr. Kumchu, I'm looking for you. You have a marvellous way with language, a way in which we can continue to interrogate all these strong research bodies, but research bodies which still fall back on, for example, diversity. Within diversity is still hidden the idea of superiority and inferiority. I really believe this is a problem we need to work on together. I'm positive, but I need all your help.
Thank you very much for understanding the self, sameness, and differences, the others. It's a big challenge, but I think the academicians have to work on it. Thank you. Now, second remark of question.
I do have a problem. I have a puzzle. I am puzzled if we are true and authentic believers in diversity. Why is it that we keep measuring everybody, especially pupils, so that they become all the same? That's one of my problems. And are we confusing diversity with equal opportunities, or am I confusing it? If we are to look at the culture of diversity as being awfully rich, thank you.
Use it, please. We have difficulties to understand. We are puzzled here.
Translators want to hear me, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. I could do that all again if you like. Would you like that? Yeah, okay. Fair enough. My puzzle is this, that if we are true and authentic believers in diversity, why is it that we are constantly measuring pupils and others and expecting them to reach the same level? That's one of my puzzles. And the other puzzle is, am I confusing diversity with equal opportunities? If we are to celebrate the fact that diversity is about cultural richness and about the fact that I am getting excited about going to tea with my Somali friend because it's totally different to the tea that I'm going to have at home. Why is it that I want him to make the same tea? This I cannot understand. But I want him to be able to make the same tea that he wishes to make in my country. And that is what I value. So I value his freedom and mine to be able to do it. I don't know about the hubris with language and whether we need to know everybody else's language. But I'm sure that if I went to another country, I would, just like everybody in this room, attempt to learn some part of that language, and I wouldn't consider my own to be the only one.
Thank you very much. To whom do you address your question? To all of us or to
hopefully all of us, as well
academicians?
as the people in the room, because I'd love to hear from some of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who would like to try to give an answer from a personal approach to this general remark or to this question, general question, I will say? Okay, Anki.
Okay, if I start from somewhere, I think they are so difficult questions that it would be strange if somebody would find an answer to those questions. But I think maybe this might be very naughty, but I think it's nice to be a good human being and to think that everything we do is positive, and so I think I don't remember the name. Alan?
Diversity and measuring.
About the sameness. Yes, yeah. Definitely, I completely agree that I think this idea of having everybody at the same level, I mean, it's already an idea that there's somebody who is setting the standard from outside, and some people have access to knowledge of what is the standard, and that's a very fundamental question. But this otherness, I think it's not only about this. I mean, this diversity is with us all the time. Everybody is a stranger or foreigner to us. Maybe I think that educators should be more interested about human beings as part of the world in a wider sense. Not just that how the humans, what they have developed a strange world of their own, cultural worlds, and in fact, I think I'm more interested about what's happening to non-humans and how the humans are living with the non-humans.
Anki, thank you. You see that we are all puzzled here. The question will stand. We will continue to think about, but no, I will give you the word. Don't worry, Brenda. It's you know, woman power. Go on.
No, I think the question is a good one. It's something I'm quite passionate about, because I do believe that pupils should be measured against a particular standard. That's why they have the national curriculum. I think where the diversity comes in is that children learn differently. I know it's it must be very difficult for teachers when you have a classroom of 30 or 20 to 30 students. But the problem is when the teaching approach to all those students is the same. That's the problem, not the goals you're trying to get them to learn. Because you want them to be able to read, write, there's some basic minimum skills they have to attain. But children learn differently. And that's where the diversity of approach comes in how you form the classes so that you tailor them to meet children's needs. That is the challenge.
Thank you, Brenda. I have never been a champion of time management, but we will have time for a last remark or a last question. Who? Yes, the lady is very passionate there, and I like passion.
I really do, because this is a very interesting issue what you raise up, and this is maybe the main question in all our efforts. So actually, how we will protect diversity and to provide equal opportunities. The point is that we as human beings have the equal needs and equal rights. And let's say that everybody knows rights, but if we will mention our needs as to have house, to have income, to have food, to have health care, these are, yes, clothes, these are needs, these are not rights. So people have to be capable to have the equal opportunity to meet their needs. So this means that education is one of the small needs that community decided that it will be a right. To receive education will be our right. Other things are not. And through education, we will be able to achieve all other things that we would like to have equal opportunities. And nobody would like the same results or that whatever, but everybody here would like to have the best possible results in order to meet in a best level these equal opportunities. So this is for
Thank you very much. Equal rights, equal opportunities. Not everyone is equal here. Not everyone will have the chance to say something. But Altay is in the panel, and he will say something more.
Thank you.
Shortly and briefly, please.
Valoriser la diversité et lutter pour l'égalité sont deux choses voisines, mais différentes, assurément différentes. Je ne vais parler que de la diversité. On a demandé ici au devant comment dépasser les peurs. Je crois qu'une façon de dépasser les peurs, c'est regarder soi, de voir que chacun est fait de diversité. Personne n'est une chose, nous sommes tous de multiples choses. Et de voir que c'est ça qui nous donne la force en réalité. Avec cette confiance, la deuxième étape, c'est d'aller vers l'autre. En général, nous sommes tous sertis de ce qu'on pourrait appeler le xénoscepticisme. Xénoscepticisme. Nous sommes tous suspicieux vis-à-vis de l'autre différent. C'est en nous. Eh bien, c'est contre ça qu'on doit lutter. Et aller vers l'autre de façon à finalement nous compléter. Merci.
Altay, in general, with academicians, you hope them to give solutions. They will give you many questions to go home. And I think diversity is not a destination, it's really a journey, and you understand what I mean. And now I think it's time to close this session with an awards session, I understood. Before going to lunch, you will have the chance to look an award session. I want to invite Ides here, please, to give the awards. I don't know to whom, but we'll see it by now. Thank you very much.